of mine. And Jared, hey, Braylon Edwards busted for DWI this week, and he won't start but will play. And how much is this an advantage for the Dolphins?
It's a big advantage, Rick, for the Dolphins. Braylon Edwards goes 6'3", 215. He is their Brandon Marshall, the big play target on the outside. You see here getting out of jail this week after being arrested for the DUI. I mean, it's a huge loss, and it's really going to hurt the Jets in goal line situations because they like to throw that fade right up top to the big guy, Braylon Edwards. The game will dictate how much he plays.
Yeah, okay. So he's got, he's dancing, he's doing a lot of stuff, but we'll see what happens. He does not start, but we'll see if he does play, in fact. Davis, Edwards may face Jason Allen if he does play. And Jason Allen had 2 picks and 11 tackles last week. Supposed to be a bust. What's gotten into that guy?
Well, I think it's a great story. He was a first-round pick, 16th pick in the 2006 draft. He's bounced from corner to safety and corner to safety. He said himself this week that several of the things that have helped him was staying at cornerback for the last year and a half, and also the new scheme that the Dolphins are running with Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator. So he's saying that those are the 2 main things, and the hard work and the commitment that he's made. So I think it's a great story. And also, at some point, like I mentioned to you earlier today, Rick, sometimes it just clicks. And so it's good to see Jason Allen having the success that he's having.
You ought to give him your cell phone. Did Jason call you, by the way, and find out how to make it click quicker?
Well, no, he's from Alabama. He's from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, so we got that connection.
Yeah, that connection.
Right.
And the speed connection, not
That's
so
right.
Yeah, right. Jared, Darrelle Revis out for tomorrow's game. Means Brandon Marshall will be matched up with Antonio Cromartie. These 2 are not strangers. Tell us about that.
No, they're both Florida boys, Rick. Marshall going to UCF. Cromartie played his college ball in Tallahassee for the Florida State Seminoles. Now, they had good matchups out west in the AFC West when Cromartie was with the Chargers and Marshall was with the Broncos. Now, take a look at last year. Cromartie got the edge over Marshall, limited in 2 games just to 8 catches for 75 yards. But if we go back a couple of years ago, Brandon Marshall had 18 catches against San Diego Chargers and Cromartie. He lit them up, and I expect a big game out of Brandon Marshall Sunday night.
You follow up, though, because we'll talk about the coaches for a second. Ryan and Sperano appear to be very different, but they're more similar than we think, right?
They're pretty similar on the field. They both like to play a smash-mouth type of football, run it, pound it right against the line, good defensive and offensive lines. But off the field, yeah, they're pretty different. Rex Ryan, he says anything goes. Tony Sperano comes from that Bill Parcells old-school style, tight lip, not going to really give anything to the media, but very similar on the field with their style and their coaching tactics.
Davis, how do you feel about this one quickly?
As far as the coaches?
Yeah.
I agree. They're similar with their game type personality. They both want to run the football. They both want to play defense. They're not going to put their quarterback in a position where he's going to lose the game for them.
Mirror images, save one talks and one doesn't. Here are the Dolphins' schedule for the next 5 weeks after tomorrow's home opener against the Jets. The Finns host the Patriots on a Monday night, then a bye week before taking a trip to Lambeau Field to face the Packers. Then they come home to host Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Vick pressured, throws, touchdown!
Michael Vick continued to start for the Eagles following last week's impressive performance against the Lions. It could be the culmination of Vick's comeback after serving 18 months in a federal prison for his role in an illegal dogfighting ring. Is Michael Vick getting better with age? Comparing his start last week to his previous starts in 2006, there's really no comparison. Vick 21 of 34 for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Lions last Sunday. He says he's a much better student of the game now than he was before his jail time. A Jared Eagles coach Andy Reid originally said Kevin Kolb would start, then had a change of heart. How would you assess the way this has been handled?
Well, Rick, this is a business more than anybody, and you put the players who give you the best chance to win on the field. Right now, that has to be Michael Vick. Kevin Kolb, he was named the starter in the offseason, got injured. That's not his fault, but Michael Vick came in. He's got the hot hand, so I think it was handled in the correct way in naming Vick the starter, at least for this week.
People were thinking Kolb was saying, I've got to check my concussion, see what I've got. It's actually the color of these uniforms are wearing. What is this? Davis, the Cowboys off to an 0-2 start. They're at Houston tomorrow and looking at an 0-3 start. How long until heads roll in the Big D?
Well, Jerry Jones gave Wade Phillips the dreaded vote of confidence yesterday. I don't know if you saw that or not, but he said that he had complete confidence in Wade Phillips, the rest of the coaching staff, and his players. Jerry Jones has never fired a coach in midseason, so I don't think they'll do anything, even if they lose and go 0-3. I don't think you'll see a coaching change this year. But at the end of the year, if they don't make the playoffs, I think you could see that'll be the last time you see Wade Phillips on the Cowboy sidelines.
Yeah, that Titanic captain had a vote of confidence before he
That's
left
right.
court, too. Hey, Jared, the Vikings 0-2. Brett Favre looked terrible against the Finns last week. How likely does he take his ball and go home if he's benched?
Well, first of all, he's not going to be benched. I just don't see that happening. Hall of Fame quarterback. We're only 2 games in the season. Yeah, it's not going so well so far for the Minnesota Vikings and Brett Favre. But if Brad Childress has the guts to pull the plug and bench him, I think he takes his ball and heads home to Mississippi.
Well, and remember, benching him also means the end of that amazing consecutive game start streak, so we'll see what happens.